a good pair of stylish baseball spikes, preferably Oakland A style from 1973. Oh, you know what? I forgot to give Al his proper introduction, if I can find it here. Oh, I can't find it. I'll get back to it. There it is. Hang on. Give Al his proper introduction here, because he's Superman. Anyways, so he would like that. So we'll see if we can't get those in the mail out to him. Those stylish baseball spikes, and we'll see if he can live out his days as an Oakland Athletic. Let's see. Elwood hasn't chimed in on the gift yet, but Captain Crutch wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about our Rule 5 draft stuff from last week. And yeah, I mean, we did kind of show that it is very specific as the Rule 5 stuff goes, but you are right. Certain protected players, 5-year service times, you know, before if a certain roster protects, or if they're not protected, then they can't be drafted. There are a lot of integral rules that go into that, but we were just kind of generally going over some stuff, and I appreciate you pointing that out for us as well. One of the things to kind of talk about, we just mentioned the Brewers organization. Trini Kucinich, who used to be with Fox Sports at Wisconsin as the, they don't call them sideline reporters, I guess they call them field reporters in baseball. She used to do that reporting for the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, she's being picked up by the new MLB network that's broadcasting or launching January 1st. She's going to be with us next week as well. We're going to talk to her over the week, and we'll bring that interview to you next week, next Monday night. So that interview will play as well. So it should be fun to talk to her. We'll get some information. We'll dive a little bit into the Milwaukee Brewers organization, and then we'll also get some information on the new MLB network that's launching January the 1st. So that should be fun. Should be fun to talk to her. So join us next week as well for that. Also, you know, I'm glad you're here, Emperor, because one of the things that I was going to kind of wait to talk about, maybe mention a little bit tonight, is the World Baseball Classic. Now, I wish one of the other guys was here, Dallas, because Dallas actually had a chance to go to the World Baseball Classic last year, and the last time they played it, and he had a chance to take in some of the games, and it was kind of a cool event. But you've been hearing a lot of stuff, and the way this is minor league related is you're going to have some minor league players. You're going to have a good chunk of minor league players playing in the World Baseball Classic. In fact, a lot of these guys from different countries are going to go back to their home countries and play in the World Baseball Classic, and they may not be major league caliber talent. They could be in the minor leagues, and it's just kind of a wacky thing to hear some of the bona fide major leaguers who have decided to pull out for one reason or another, or the names that they're going to get. It seems to be dwindling more and more every day. From a major league and minor league standpoint, and Elliot, you can jump on this. Al, if you're listening out there, you can jump in as well. What do you believe, Napper, about do you think is the benefit of this World Baseball Classic, and do you think it's a good idea to do this at the times you're doing it right there during the March era, right before the regular season during spring training?
Oh man, that's tough. There's pluses and minuses. I think it gives the baseball fan, just the baseball purist like we are, it gives just more competitive baseball games. It kind of takes away from the monotony of boring spring training games, where by the fifth inning you're watching a bunch of minor leaguers, and it's still good baseball, you know what I mean? But minor league games can be spring training big games can be pretty monotonous and pretty boring. So it gives baseball fans more competitive baseball to watch, in the springtime every 3 years. I like the patriotism. I like the fact that there's another U.S. A team out there that I can cheer for. I also think it gives the players more of a talent base to compete against in the early part of the season, to help them maybe get ready a little bit earlier with playing against better talent than they would in regular minor league games to get ready for the major league season. On the downside, I guess the only downside about it is the injury factors. As far as the Indians go, Grady Sizemore, what if he gets hurt in one of these World Baseball Classic games and misses a significant amount of time with the tribe? Well, the season is going to go immediately down the crapper, you know what I mean? So that's the one aspect I don't like about it.
I would say anything beats a Cactus League game. I disagree with you, Hellwood, buddy. Have you ever been out to the Cactus League, man? Arizona is awesome to go and watch baseball. If you're a baseball fan, minor or major, it really doesn't matter. In fact, even more so if you're a minor league baseball fan. To go out there and have that much baseball available to you when the weather is crappy, especially down there in Indianapolis, just as bad as it is in Chicago and Cleveland or wherever else, and you get to go out in March and go out and enjoy the sun and warmth of Phoenix, Arizona, for the most part. There's always your one day where it's raining, of course, and it doesn't make any sense. But you sit there and you watch. You can go and watch a game, and then you can watch a night game, or you can go to the backfields. You can watch the minors. You can talk to these guys. You get, even any regular fans get the access. We've discussed spring training before in depth on this show and the TKS and all that. But just kind of a reminder is that it is pretty neat to go and have this access and be close and not spend so much on a game and be able to run around and see all these games and on different days. There's always a game, and sometimes there's 2 or 3 games in a day, and it is a cool experience. So definitely, I would say, to get out there. But nonetheless, about the World Baseball Classic, they are going to play a game in Canada, a game overseas, a couple games overseas, and then they're going to come and finish it up back in the States. I believe San Francisco and San Diego. San Francisco, San Diego, and LA is going to be the final or something like that. So it's just interesting because I have noticed a lot of these guys who are bailing, and it'll be fun to see what minor leaguers end up playing for their different countries. Because, for example, we had a guy on this show who will probably be in our yearly rewind, Alex Maastri, I believe is how you say his name. He's a pitcher in the Cubs organization. And he pitched in the World Baseball Classic last time, and he gave up a home run to Moises Alou. He came in mop-up time when the Italians were getting spanked by the U.S., and he gave up a home run to Moises Alou. So he's had the opportunity, even though he hadn't even pitched in the minors yet. He was a college player or whatever leagues they have over there and gotten drafted. He's like the first Italian player, pure Italian, to get drafted and by any team, and he basically is a pitcher, like I said. So he had given up a home run to Moises Alou prior to ever even pitching professionally, so at least in the States. So it's kind of a cool thing. You see stuff like that all the time because, like you said, Napper, guys are going for their country. It's patriotism, and not just for the United States. It could be other countries as well. So, nonetheless, my take on it is I think there's too much hype. There's too much people paying attention to stuff that they don't necessarily have to pay attention to. And I think baseball's baseball. Go and play. It's weird. Baseball is kind of an interesting sport. You would not think. You watch football or you watch hockey or even basketball to a certain extent because bodies are flying around at people. Basketball is a contact sport. I don't care what anybody says. It's not a collision sport like football, but it is a contact sport, and you got bodies flying around. With baseball, if you think about it, there's very few times where bodies actually collide with one another. It's usually just running after the baseball or trying to hit the baseball or whatever. And it's amazing to me the injuries that you can have on a baseball field. You would think that, you go out and play beer league softball, and there's a lot of people out there who do that as well, and you just think, go out and play. How many times you still play softball? Do you stretch, Napper, when you go out and play softball?
No, I read.
No, you go out there and play.
Yeah.
So, and do you get hurt?
No, like sometimes I might be a little sore the next day, but no, I never physically get hurt.
Yeah, so I know we're talking apples and oranges maybe a little bit here, but still, you just think that go out and play a game. Go out and play baseball, and if they get hurt, but see that does bring up an awesome point about how much money is invested in these players. And minor or major, you got these guys, and you can have your whole farm system go down the tubes if you lose a player or two.